Keir Starmer vows all options on the table in retaliation to Donald Trump's steel tariff. The imposition of hefty tariffs on global steel and aluminum imports by former U.S. President Donald Trump has sparked widespread concern among international trade partners, including the United Kingdom. The newly imposed 25% duty on these metals entering the United States has raised alarms in the beleaguered British steel industry, prompting Prime Minister Keir Starmer to emphasize that all options are on the table when considering potential retaliatory measures. 99% of viewers watch without subscribing. If you enjoy our content, subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps us grow and keeps you updated. Thank you. As the UK government scrambles to negotiate a favorable economic deal with the US, Starmer and his administration must balance diplomatic engagement with firm action to safeguard British industries. Meanwhile, the European Union and Canada have taken swift countermeasures, demonstrating a divided international response to U.S. trade policies. Trump's tariffs, which came into effect early Wednesday morning, are part of his broader trade strategy aimed at protecting American manufacturers and reducing reliance on foreign metals. However, for UK businesses, these tariffs present a significant challenge. The UK exports roughly 5% of its steel and 6% of its aluminum production to the U.S. The Aluminium Federation estimates the American market accounts for nearly 10% of UK exports, valuing at approximately £225 million. These numbers indicate the significant impact these new import duties could have on British metal industries already grappling with high energy costs and weak domestic demand. Industry leaders, including Gareth Stace, Director General of UK Steel, and Nadine Bloxham, Chief Executive of the Aluminium Federation, have voiced concerns that these tariffs could exacerbate existing economic struggles. Stace warned that this move comes at the worst possible time, intensifying the sector's existing challenges. During Prime Minister's questions, Starmer expressed disappointment over the tariffs and reaffirmed the UK's commitment to taking a pragmatic approach. He stated that the UK government is engaged in ongoing negotiations with the US to secure an economic agreement that may include provisions to mitigate the impact of the tariffs. "We will keep all options on the table," Starmer assured MPs, signaling the possibility of countermeasures if diplomatic efforts fail. Treasury Minister James Murray echoed this sentiment, emphasizing the need for a cool-headed, pragmatic, and productive approach while keeping the door open for a potential response. The UK is now at a crossroads, weighing the benefits of diplomacy against the need to protect domestic industries. Some analysts argue that failing to respond aggressively could make Britain appear weak on the global stage, while others believe that measured negotiations offer the best path forward. While the UK is adopting a measured approach, the European Union has already announced countermeasures, implementing retaliatory tariffs on American goods starting in April. The European Commission denounced the US tariffs as unjustified trade restrictions and pledged to take necessary steps to defend European interests. Canada has also taken swift action, imposing $29.8 billion Canadian dollars worth of tariffs on US goods beginning Thursday. Given that Canada is the largest foreign supplier of steel and aluminum to the US, this response marks a significant escalation in global trade tensions. These retaliatory measures send a strong message to Washington, signaling that protectionist trade policies will not go unchallenged. The question remains, will the UK join its allies in imposing countermeasures, or will it maintain its diplomatic course in pursuit of a trade deal? The imposition of tariffs by the US and subsequent retaliations by the EU and Canada highlight a growing trend of protectionism in global trade. Industry leaders fear that such measures could have a domino effect, leading to trade wars that impact multiple sectors beyond steel and aluminum. UK manufacturers, already dealing with post-Brexit trade uncertainties, energy cost surges, and sluggish domestic growth, now face additional hurdles in maintaining their competitiveness in the global market. The UK government's challenge lies in navigating these complex economic waters while securing an agreement with the US that benefits British businesses without triggering further instability. Moreover, history has shown that trade wars often lead to higher prices for consumers, disrupted supply chains, and economic volatility. If the UK does not secure a resolution soon, Businesses and workers in the steel and aluminum industries may be forced to make difficult decisions regarding employment and production capacity. As negotiations continue, analysts suggest that the UK could explore various counter-strategies, including tariff rebalancing. The UK could impose its own tariffs on select US imports to level the playing field while avoiding broader economic repercussions. Sector-specific support. The government might provide subsidies or relief packages to steel and aluminum manufacturers affected by the tariffs. Diversification of trade partnerships, strengthening trade ties with other economic blocs, such as the Commonwealth and Asia-Pacific nations, could reduce reliance on U.S. exports. Regulatory adjustments. Implementing strategic trade policies to ensure UK industries remain competitive in an increasingly protectionist global landscape. Public and private sector collaboration, encouraging investment in domestic steel and aluminum production through government incentives and partnerships with private enterprises. While some experts advocate for immediate retaliation to signal strength and protect domestic markets, others warn that escalating trade tensions could lead to prolonged economic instability. The UK must carefully weigh its options to strike a balance between safeguarding its industries and maintaining a productive trade relationship with the US. The UK faces a crucial moment in its trade relations with the United States. Keir Starmer's promise to keep all options on the table signals a balanced approach that prioritizes both diplomatic negotiations and potential countermeasures. While the EU and Canada have swiftly retaliated, the UK government aims to secure a long-term economic deal with the US that protects its domestic industries without escalating trade conflicts. As the global trade landscape evolves, the British steel and aluminum sectors will be watching closely to see whether Starmer's government can successfully mitigate the impact of Trump's tariffs while ensuring economic stability and industry growth. The coming weeks will be decisive in shaping the UK's trade strategy and determining its role in a rapidly shifting international market. Ultimately, the UK's response to these tariffs will set a precedent for how it handles future trade disputes in a post-Brexit world. Whether through measured diplomacy or assertive economic action, the government must ensure that British industries are not left vulnerable in an increasingly protectionist global economy.